English podcast.
From Speak English through Real Talk.
Hello, English learners. Welcome back to the English Leap podcast, your cozy place to learn real English through real conversations. I'm Anna.
And I'm Jake, and today I want to start with a confession.
A confession? Already?
Already, because today's topic is personal, very personal.
Okay, I'm listening.
I once said yes to something I hated, not for one day, not for 1 week, for 3 months.
3 months.
3 months of doing something I didn't want to do, for people I didn't want to disappoint, in a situation I could have left, if I had just said 2 letters.
N and O.
N and O, exactly.
I think everyone listening right now just felt that. Because most of us have been there.
And today, we're going to talk about why that happens, why saying no feels so hard, and what to actually say, in English, when you need to.
Because no is not just a word. In English, how you say no matters as much as saying it.
And by the end of today, you'll have the exact sentences, real sentences you can use tomorrow.
Before we begin, a quick note about today's level. This is a B1 episode, Intermediate English. The vocabulary is practical. The sentences are clear. But the topic is real and deep.
And if you're a strong beginner, A2 level, you can still follow along. Don't worry about every word. Take what you need. Let the rest be music.
That's still learning. In fact, that's great learning. And we have our calm word tour at the end, where we slow down and explain every key word with examples. So stay with us until the very end.
And if you enjoy this episode, please like it, subscribe, and leave a comment. Tell us, what is the hardest situation for you to say? No in work, family, friends. One sentence in English is absolutely perfect.
Okay. Today, we're going to explore 3 things.
First, why saying no feels like doing something wrong, even when it isn't.
Second, the yes hole. A simple image that changed how I think about this forever.
And third, the actual sentences, what to say, how to say it, in different situations, work, friends, family, messages.
Because this is not just a psychology lesson, it's a language lesson, and knowing how to say no clearly and kindly in English. That's a skill. A skill that changes your relationships, your energy, your life.
So take a slow breath and let's begin.
Let's start with the feeling. Because before we learn what to say, we need to understand why we don't say it.
Okay, imagine this. Your friend calls and asks you to help with something. Maybe it's moving apartments. Maybe it's reading a long document. Maybe it's coming to a party you really don't want to go to.
And inside, instantly, you feel it. That small, sinking feeling. The oh no feeling.
You don't want to do it, but you also don't want to let them down. You don't want them to think you're selfish. You don't want the conversation to be awkward.
So you say, sure, of course. And then you hang up the phone and feel
Terrible.
terrible, yes. Like you just agreed to carry something very heavy.
And why does this happen? Why does saying no feel like doing something wrong?
There are a few reasons, and they all start very young.
Yes, from childhood, most of us learn. Be helpful, be kind, don't disappoint people. These are good values, truly. But somewhere along the way, be helpful becomes always say yes, and don't disappoint people becomes never say no, even if it hurts you.
And that's where the problem begins. Because saying yes to everything isn't kindness. It's self-abandonment.
Self-abandonment. That's a strong word.
It is. But it's accurate. When you say yes and mean no, you abandon yourself. You choose someone else's comfort over your own truth.
And the person who receives that yes, they often don't even know the cost. They think you're happy to help. They have no idea you're carrying something heavy.
Exactly. You smile and say, no problem. And inside it is a problem. A big one.
Can I tell you what happened to me?
Please.
A friend, a good friend, someone I really like, called me in October. He was moving apartments, and he asked if I could help him on Saturday.
Okay.
Now, on that Saturday, I already had two things planned. Not huge things, but things I had promised. And I was also, honestly, exhausted that week. It had been a hard 7 days.
So what did you say?
I said, "Sure, of course. What time?" And the moment I said it, I felt it. That sinking feeling, like a stone dropping in water.
The oh no feeling.
The oh no feeling, exactly. And I spent the rest of that week dreading Saturday. Every day I woke up and thought, Saturday is coming.
That's so exhausting.
And when Saturday arrived, I had to cancel the two other things I'd promised. I arrived at my friend's apartment already tired, already resentful, already not fully there.
And did your friend notice?
No, he was happy. He was grateful. He bought me lunch. He said I was a great friend. And I smiled and thought, if only you knew.
That's such a familiar feeling. You're giving something you don't have, and the other person doesn't know, and you can't tell them because you already said yes.
Exactly. It was my choice, but it didn't feel like a choice anymore. It felt like a trap I had built for myself, with the word sure.
This brings me to an image that helped me a lot. I call it the yes hole.
The yes hole, tell me.
Imagine the ground under your feet, and every time you say yes, but you mean no, you dig a small hole. It doesn't feel like much at first, just a little dip,
A small dip. Okay.
but you keep saying yes to the small things, to the medium things, to the things that drain you, and the hole gets deeper and deeper. And one day, you look up, and you realize you're looking at the world from the bottom of a hole.
And from down there, it's very hard to say no, because you already owe everyone so much.
Yes, because now the yes hole is full of expectations. People expect you to be available. People expect you to say yes. And if you suddenly say no, they're surprised, even hurt, because they got used to the version of you that lived at the bottom of the hole.
And the hole didn't happen all at once.
No, it happened one small yes at a time. One, sure, no problem. One, of course, happy to. One, yeah, I guess I can.
So the solution is not to dig the hole deeper. It's to stop digging.
Exactly. Not to jump out overnight. That's too much. But to stop adding to it. One honest no at a time.
And every no you say, that you mean, fills the hole a little.
Yes. Because every honest no says, my time matters. My energy matters. What I want matters.
And that feeling, over time, starts to feel less like selfishness and more like self-respect.
Okay, now the practical part. Because knowing the psychology is great, but in the moment when someone asks you something, you need words. Real English words.
And here's the good news. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to apologize. You don't need to give a 5-paragraph essay about why you can't come to the party.
The 5-paragraph essay called Please Still Like Me.
Exactly. You've read that essay. I've written that essay.
We all have. So let's look at real situations and what to say in each one.
Situation 1. A colleague asks you to take on extra work.
This one is hard because there's professional pressure. You don't want to seem lazy. You don't want to look bad.
Here's what you can say. I appreciate you thinking of me, but I'm at capacity right now.
At capacity, that means full. I have no more room. It's professional. It's clear. It's not personal.
Or you can say, I can't take this on right now, but maybe check back with me next week. This gives a door without saying yes today.
And if they push? I want to be honest. I can't do this well right now, and I'd rather say that than do it badly.
Beautiful, because that's actually respectful to them. You're saying, I care enough about the quality to tell you the truth.
Situation 2. A friend asks a favor you can't do.
This is emotionally harder because friendship feels personal. A no to a friend can feel like a rejection of the friendship.
But it isn't. And you can say that. I really want to help, but I honestly can't right now. My plate is full.
My plate is full means I have too much already, like a plate of food. If it's already full, you can't add more.
Or simply, I'm not available this week, but I'm thinking of you. Short, warm, clear.
And notice, no long explanation, no, I would, but you see, it's just that I hope you understand. The explanation is not the kindness. The kindness is the warmth in your voice.
Exactly. Short, clear, kind. That combination is powerful.
Situation 3. Family, the hardest one.
Yes, family has a special kind of gravity. The pull is stronger.
And sometimes the request isn't even a request, it's an assumption. Of course you'll come. Of course you'll help. Like it was already decided.
And in those moments, you can say, I love you, and I need to be honest. This doesn't work for me this time.
Notice, this time, not never, just this time, it leaves the relationship intact. It's not a wall, it's a door that's closed right now.
Or, for the smaller things, I can't be there, but I'll be thinking of you. I need to rest this weekend. Can we plan for next week instead?
And the most important thing to remember with family, your no is not an attack. It's information. It says, this is what I can give right now, and what I can give now is better given freely than given with resentment.
Situation 4, messages and digital requests. Because a lot of pressure now comes through text.
Yes, someone sends a message and expects an answer, and you read it and you think, I don't want to do this, but you also don't want to leave them on read.
Here's a response you can send. Thanks for thinking of me. I'm going to have to pass on this one.
Pass. In this context, to pass means to say no, to decline. Short, friendly, final.
Or, this isn't something I can commit to right now. I hope you understand.
And if you need more time, let me think about it and get back to you. This is not a yes, it's a pause, and a pause is allowed.
You don't have to decide in the same minute the message arrives.
No, your time is yours, even the time to think.
Here's what I want to say before we close this part. Something that took me a long time to understand.
Please.
When you say no, clearly, kindly, directly, it is not the end of a relationship. It's a test of it.
A test.
Yes, because the people who respect you will hear your no and think, okay, she knows her limits. I respect that.
And the people who are hurt by your no?
They were benefiting from your yes, not because they're bad people, but because they got used to having that access. And your no shows them a new version of you, a version with limits. And some people need time to adjust to that.
And that's okay.
That's okay. You don't need everyone to be happy with your no immediately. You just need to say it honestly.
Because an honest no respects both people. It respects them, because you're telling the truth. And it respects you, because you're honoring what you feel.
And over time, as you stop digging the yes hole, you'll notice something.
What?
Your yeses start to mean something again. When you say yes, it's real. People feel it. Because it comes from a full place, not an empty one.
A yes from a full person is worth 10 yeses from an empty one.
Exactly.
Okay, before our word tour, let's collect the phrases, the sentences you can take and use tomorrow.
First, for any situation. I appreciate you thinking of me, but I can't commit to this.
Second, for when you're tired or overwhelmed, I need to protect my energy right now.
Third, warm and simple. That doesn't work for me. But thank you for asking.
Fourth, for work or professional situations, I'm at capacity right now. Maybe check back with me next week.
Fifth, for messages. I'm going to have to pass on this one.
Sixth, for family or close relationships. I love you, and this doesn't work for me this time.
And the most important thing, say it warmly, not coldly, not aggressively. Your voice can be soft and your boundary can still be firm.
Soft voice, firm boundary. Those two things can exist at the same time.
Before we do our word tour, let's sit with one idea.
Yes, take a slow breath.
Saying no is an act of honesty. And honesty is an act of love. When you tell the truth about what you can give, you protect the relationship from resentment, from that hidden heaviness.
Because a yes that isn't real slowly makes you angry, and that anger leaks into your voice, into your energy, into the relationship.
A clear no keeps things clean. It keeps the air between you and the other person clear.
And that's a gift, even if it doesn't feel like one in the moment.
So this week, just once, say the no you've been carrying. It doesn't have to be big. It can be small. One honest no. And notice how it feels. It's time for our calm word tour. We slow down. We take the key words from today. We explain them clearly, with examples. You can replay this part anytime. Let the words land.
First word, decline. To decline means to politely say no to something. It's more formal and softer than just saying no.
For example, she declined the invitation. She had other plans. Or, I had to decline the project. I simply had too much on my plate.
Next word, boundaries. Boundaries are your personal limits. What is okay for you and what is not okay. They're not walls. They're the rules of your space.
For example, he set a clear boundary. No work messages after 8 p.m. Or, learning to set boundaries was one of the best things she ever did.
Next word, assertive. To be assertive means to express what you want or need clearly and directly, but without being rude or aggressive. It's the middle point between passive and aggressive.
For example, she was assertive in the meeting. She said what she needed calmly and clearly. Or, being assertive doesn't mean being unkind. It means being honest.
Next word, overwhelmed. To feel overwhelmed means to have too much, too many tasks, too many feelings, too many responsibilities. Your brain and body feel like they can't hold it all.
For example, I felt so overwhelmed last week, I had to cancel everything and rest. Or, when you're overwhelmed, even small decisions feel impossible.
Next word, guilt. Guilt is the bad feeling you get when you think you've done something wrong, or when you think you've let someone down.
For example, she felt guilt after saying no, even though it was the right decision. Or, guilt and responsibility are different things. Not every guilt is a truth.
Next word, obligation. An obligation is something you feel you must do because of duty, expectation, or social pressure, not always because you want to.
For example, he went to the dinner out of obligation, not desire. Or, there's a difference between an obligation and a choice.
And the last one, a respectful refusal. A refusal is when you say no. A respectful refusal is a no that is kind, clear, and considerate. It protects the relationship while still being honest.
For example, her refusal was respectful. She thanked him and explained briefly. Or, a respectful refusal is still a no, but it leaves dignity on both sides. That was our Calm Word Tour. Thank you for staying with us.
You can go back and replay that part anytime. Maybe choose one word and use it in a sentence today.
If you remember only one thing from today, let it be this.
Saying no is not a rejection of the person, it's a protection of yourself. And a protected you is a better friend, a better colleague, a better partner.
A full person gives better than an empty one. Every time.
So this week, one no small, honest, kind, and see what happens.
And we want to hear from you. Leave us a comment and tell us, what is the hardest situation for you to say no in? Work, family, friends, a specific person?
Write in English, even just one sentence. We read every comment, and your words help other learners feel less alone.
If this episode helped you or made you think even a little, please like, subscribe, and share it with one person who needs to hear this.
This is Jake.
And this is Anna.
And you've been listening to the English Leap podcast. Both. See you next time.